Sam's father, in this clip, hopefully it will work, will tell the story, his favourite story, of the tailor and the trousers.
An Englishman needed a pair of striped trousers in a hurry for the New Year festivities, goes to his tailor, who takes his measurements. That's the lot. Come back in 4 days and I'll have it ready. Good. 4 days later. So sorry. Come back in a week. I've made a mess of the seat. Good. That's all right. A neat seat can be very ticklish a week later. Frightfully sorry. Come back in 10 days. I've made a hash of the crotch. Good. Can't be helped. A snug crotch is always a teaser 10 days later. Dreadfully sorry. Come back in a fortnight. I've made a balls of the fly. Good. At a pinch, a smart fly is a stiff proposition. I've never told it worse. But tell this story worse and worse. Ah well, to make it short, the bluebells are blowing and he bollocks the buttonholes. God damn you to hell, sir! No, it's indecent. There are limits. In 6 days, do you hear me? 6 days, God made the world. Yes, sir. No less, sir. The world. And you're not bloody well capable of making me a pair of trousers in 3 months. Oh, but dear sir, my dear sir, look at the world and look at my trousers. Silence! You can see down to the bottom.
And to finish, this is Ham here in the wheelchair. Ham has a propensity to being very cruel to both his parents and to Chloe. He plays with them, let's say, psychologically. One particular passage where they're just existing, probably waiting for the end, Ham decides to toy with Chloe. He says, "In my house, one day you'll be blind like me. You'll be sitting there, a speck in the void, in the dark forever like me. One day you'll say to yourself, 'I'm tired, I'll sit down.' And you'll go and sit down. Then you'll say, 'I'm hungry, I'll get up and get something to eat.' But you won't get up. You'll say, 'I shouldn't have sat down, but since I have, I'll sit on a little longer, then I'll get up and get something to eat.' But you won't get up and you won't get anything to eat. You'll look at the wall a while, then you'll say, 'I'll close my eyes, perhaps have a little sleep. After that I'll feel better,' and you'll close them. And when you open them again, there'll be no wall anymore. Infinite emptiness will be all around you, all the resurrected dead of all the ages wouldn't fill it, and there you'll be like a little bit of grit in the middle of the mountains. Yes, one day you'll know what it is. You'll be like me, except that you won't have anyone with you, because you won't have had pity on anyone, and because there won't be anyone left to have pity on." And Chloe says, "It's not certain. And there's one thing you forget." And Ham says, "What?" And Chloe says, "I can't sit down." To conclude, Harold Pinter said of Samuel Beckett, Harold Pinter won the Nobel Prize in 2005. Harold Pinter said, "The further he goes, the more good it does me." Sorry. Getting pictures. Let's do this at high speed. Harold Pinter said, "The further he goes, the more good it does me. I don't want philosophies, tracts, dogmas, creeds, ways out, truth, answers, nothing from the bargain basement. He is the most courageous, remorseless writer going, and the more he grinds my nose in it, the more I'm grateful to him. He's not messing me about, he's not leading me up any garden path, he's not slipping me a wink, he's not flogging me a remedy or a path or a revelation or a basin full of breadcrumbs. He's not selling me anything I don't want to buy. He doesn't care whether I buy or not. He hasn't got his hand over his heart. Well, I'll buy his goods hook, line and sinker because he leaves no stone unturned and no maggot lonely. He brings forth a body of beauty. His work is beautiful. So says Harold Pinter, 2005 Nobel Prize winner. Richard Ellman, famous biographer of James Joyce, magnificent biographer, said, he has given a voice to the decrepit and named and inarticulate men and women at the end of their tether, past pose or pretense, past claim of meaningful existence. He seems to say that only there and then, as metabolism lowers, amid God's paucity, not his plenty, can the core of the human condition be approached. Yet his musical cadences, his wrought and precise sentences cannot help but stave off the void. Like salamanders, we survive in his fire. That's his grave. The Nobel Prize Committee said, we bestowed the Nobel Prize for Literature on Samuel Beckett for his writing in which, in new forms, for the novel and drama, the destitution of modern man acquires its elevation. In all three of these quotes, Beckett's gravitas is accentuated, his importance, his seriousness, his tragic tenor. His serious humanitarian concern for human well-being is a keynote, even in the analysis of the work I have taken here, that great empathy, that great sympathy. And yet, this worthy and therefore tragic tenor of his work emphasized the serious at the expense of the comedy. I hope I have shown you that Beckett is both, that he understood comedy and tragedy were equally important, the one finally making the other more palatable. Tragedy gives our absurd lives meaning, but the tragic tenor of this meaningless is best offset and dissipated by riotous humour. Anthony Cronin, who wrote a biography of Samuel Beckett, met him a number of times, and not realising that Samuel Beckett would be so famous, always got to talking about their mutual hero, James Joyce. Anthony Cronin told me that when he asked Samuel Beckett about Joyce and comedy, Joyce said, you know what infuriates me? You know what upsets me? They never say my work is funny. Never, ever. And Beckett turned to Cronin and said, you know what? They'll probably never say my work is funny either. Spread the word. Thank you.
Certainly been a really full afternoon with all your marvelous presentation. If you would be so well, my pleasure. If you would be so kind, and if people wish to ask a couple of questions, I think we have a little bit of time. Maybe we have all the time there is. So I'll open the floor.
Yes.
Maybe. Linda. Hi.
I'm trying to finish this. I've got like 3 minutes on it.
Yeah, not bad. How about you? Good. Good. I just got back from the state presentation. Yeah, I didn't have a bit of jet lag.
He is, isn't he? He's good.
I did. I lots of love.
No, because I've never sat in, but I've always heard in Cyprus that he had the coolest lecture, but I never.
Fantastic. 10 inches. I want to do
I'm trying to finish this. I've got 2 minutes.
But you're looking well too. So I just, when did you donate your hair? Hairdressers. I keep saying I want to grow it.
Yeah,
no, I mean, it's gotten shorter since I've been here.
You never told me any of those stories.
Oh, you're sweet. So he's a brilliant wit, isn't he?
I know.
Well, I guess after you study Beckett all those years.
Yeah.
Even that, it's rubbed off.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, cadences and stuff. It's great.
So you're around this summer?
Off and on. What about you?
Well, we're going to start tomorrow.
I saw the thing.
Yeah. Okay, so you're
My husband's birthday tomorrow. So it's not very politic to say, we're going out to dinner with some other people.
Start back up. How's it go? I'm in your office.
Are you? Okay. I actually sent an email about the journal.
Oh, you did?
About, well, I've got a story maybe